Hello and welcome back to my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode we started Chapter 9, and now we're here back with our team of Lightning, Fang and Hope as we continue to make our way through the ship's interior. So as you can see, we've got a whole host of battles with various Psychom soldiers awaiting us at the start of this chapter. Of this episode, I should say. So these slightly larger groups are a bit more of a threat, it must be said. You can see that they obviously did quite a large amount of damage to us in a pretty short amount of time there. Certainly, these infiltrators are not particularly kind to us, so we will do our utmost to keep healthy. But we may well need to stop being quite as aggressive now and actually introduce more Sentinel paradigms into our team, because we are currently being essentially out-muscled at the moment. Which is kind of disappointing. So yeah, we might need to introduce some more, what I would call the more boring paradigms, I guess. But I honestly think it is actually going to be of critical importance here, actually. So, we're now onto the Raiders. As we can see, they're capable of inflicting both pain and fog, which is an issue for us. They can obviously use Sap, which is a relatively dangerous attack. Obviously does nearly 90 damage, I think it was, to Fang there. We should be okay here. Don't cast pain on Fang, that's not what we want to see. So, the other thing you'll notice about these enemies is that they're really the first enemies that can use Guard. Guard being the ability that allows you to obviously essentially just heavily decrease the amount of damage you take from a particular attack. So I also I did fill out the Crystarium for all of the characters, so that's now done. I think I got Fang a few places on her on her commando, so I got Scourge and Jeopardize, I think, and got a few on Hopes as well. So anyway, yes, paradigms. We actually do need to change this up, so we're going to need... that, annoyingly. Delta Dranak is going to be necessary. Smart Bomb is important. I reckon... I wouldn't usually do this, but I do want to... Nah, I've got to start in strategic warfare is the really annoying thing. That could also be useful. Yeah. Okay. Far more defensive setup, which is kind of disappointing, but there we go. I don't think we've really got much choice, unfortunately. So we have our first introduction to the Inquisitrixes, at least I think that's what they're called. These ones in particular. So you can see that they can all cast Cura, which is really annoying. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what we want to see, Fang. Just come in there and wreck shop. So essentially the oh, okay, so there's a huntress. So essentially, huntresses are the first of essentially an advanced form of female PsyCom agents. Essentially, along with a few, I think there's only like maybe one or two other forms in the game, but essentially they tend to be able to attack very, very fast and you know, very rapidly. And the other thing that they do is they always have the ability to essentially cast buffs on themselves. So in this case, bravery, bravery, protect, shell, and haste, which are all rather dangerous buffs to see on an opponent. Indeed, I do want to keep a launch. I'm hoping Fang can come in here. There we go. That's what we're going to see. Boom. Lovely. They're not too bad. But obviously, because they can cast buffs on themselves, that does make them more of a threat than certainly other enemies that we've seen. So in this case, we want to take out the Huntress first, I think. So that means essentially Delta attack and then Mystic Tower, I think, for this one. Okay, so there we go, that's stagger. Okay, so why are you asking me to go Ruin, I wonder? So we really don't have anything to actually remove these buffs, these statuses that the Huntresses actually have are able to impact on us, which is kind of annoying, but terrible. Okay, so hopefully we can get a quick stagger here. We do indeed. That's very handy. You can see that obviously he's casting Pain on us. Which is actually better. Like I think he cast Pain on Hope. Or is that Fog? No, that's Fog actually. Yeah. So that's why Hope's not doing anything. Essentially, he's unfortunately got and I can't do anything about that because Lightning is the only one who can get rid of. Because obviously I would need a Suna to get rid of it, and obviously I do not actually have a. Oh, you're kidding me. This is my best way of staggering. Because unfortunately I have nothing that actually, in which Lightning and Fang are both in roles that obviously raise the, Okay, there we go, Slow will do it now. Yeah, so essentially, Pain takes the form of, I think, a sort of like a sword, whilst Fog is obviously that sort of like a question mark in sort of a smoky-looking question mark. So now, if you keep on heading this way, essentially, you'll head the wrong way, and that will take you back outside to the area we previously were in before. And indeed, you can use this area as essentially a place to just grind up if you wanted to. Again, obviously, I'm definitely limiting the amount of grinding I'm going to do throughout the start of this. As we get a Lifesaver, which I think, as it implies, boosts HP restored to allies revived with Raise. Okay. So that's not particularly useful because obviously it's a very particular effect it has. Okay, so a couple of huntresses and a infiltrator. So we definitely want to take out the infiltrator first. That's the sort of damage that a huntress can do in just a couple of turns. You know, she's already taken lightning down to 700 and what's that? Like 3/5 health. Okay, need to actually be worried here. Like Fang, if you could start actually provoking these enemies, that would be useful. Lovely, so we get stagger. Obviously, we do actually need to remain with the sentinel just to keep these huntresses at bay with the amount of damage they do. Okay, so there we go, you're now down. Risky play! Actually, she's lost her haste, so actually if we can land this, we will get slow on, which is good. So we should get stagger before she attacks again, hopefully. Yes, we do. So now let's go to aggression, get that launch. One, two, three. Beautiful, beautiful. So there we go. That's that little battle done. So our first interaction with, I think these are called Vikings, if I remember correctly. These aren't particularly nice. We will Libra you. Are they fire? Yeah, fire-based attacks, there you go. So we should see bar fire coming out soon. So we get that slow on, that's really useful. Now we can go back to Mystic Tower. So you can see he's doing very little damage to our to Fang in her sentinel form, which is really nice. So I think these guys usually they'll take probably 2 staggers, which is kind of annoying, but we do want to continually be able to switch between paradigms, because once more, obviously doing this, I mean, even raising the your stagger bar now is actually really useful, because you're obviously increasing the multiplier on every attack you do. So we should hopefully get a smite. Yes, there we go. So that's your first seeing a smite. And now we start seeing some fire type moves from this guy, so you need to calm down. This is gonna hurt. So you can see it's weak to, I guess, both water and electric. Is why we're using Spark and Aqua Strike. So we get Stagger. So it's pretty much very nearly one Stagger, but not quite. Interrupt. Beautiful. There we go. Down you go. So, we'll see a lot more Vikings later on through this chapter, I think, if I remember correctly. We can grab ourselves an Ember Ring, so if it's just like, you know, if you're having trouble with these fire-based enemies, have an Ember Ring to help you out. Okay, so, Raiders, no, Huntresses first here. Because the Raiders can't heal themselves. Drive Pain on Hope, that's annoying but not terrible. Need to go to aggression just so I have the chance to get some. Okay. Get a smite in. Yes, good. Okay. Back to Delta attack. Should hopefully be able to finish off this. So close. Beautiful. Okay, so Fang can't now use any physical ones. That's annoying. Does that include her Sentinel abilities? Looks like it does, so... that worked out nicely, actually, in the end. Good, so... This is the annoying thing about Pain. Indeed, like all the other stage settlements, well, I say all the others, like Curse and... like Curse and Poison that we've seen before, there are also items that you can use to manually get rid of Pain and... Fog. Essentially, Pain is gotten rid of with a painkiller, oddly enough, and then Fog is removed by using a. I would love it if Fang would start actually attacking the enemy that I'm looking at. Fog is removed by using, I think it's called a mallet. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to take this guy out within this stagger, annoyingly, because of Fang's idiocy with regards to casting slow on the wrong enemy. Okay, come on. One. Good. Okay, at least you're close to stagger. As soon as we get Curse on Fang, she'll be a much better Sab. Because at the moment, with only one Sab ability, she's really sort of limited. There we go, lovely. So as you can just see on the map there, the enemies behind us have just respawned. We won't be taking them on, but you know, if you are looking for an area where you want to be able to grind, this is one of them. So close, but not quite there. So we'll head up here, and then do we have a cutscene? I'm assuming the orange means cuts. No, it just means this is where you need to head. So as you might expect, the raiders are of importance here. The Viking we can't get rid of quickly, so we can definitely get rid of these raiders relatively fast. We should be able to stagger this one just about now. Good. It would be handy if we could cast slow, but I don't think the Vikings actually use their most dangerous attack, the fire-based attack, until they've lost a certain amount of health. So I think we should be okay in that sense. So you're casting Pain on Fang, which isn't good. Good, lovely. Sorry, I do actually need to go to Smart Bomb, because we do want to get slow on this guy pretty much as soon as possible. Come on, Fang. Attack! There we go. Good. Lovely. So we should be able to get a stagger relatively fast. Again, we're obviously not using our Sin abilities particularly much, just through these opening battles. They're not particularly, obviously they are useful, but they're not pretty much imperative to survive most of these battles, and that's why we don't really use them so much. Okay, good. So essentially be doing this much the same as we did the last one. Swap to Delta Attack for a couple of turns. Probably should have gone to Mystic Tower, but that's okay. You might actually get double smite here, which is actually rather handy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Fang's definitely going to get a smite, surely. No? Really? Oh. Okay, she got a Scourge actually in, which is just as good, useful. Ow. Oh. So once more, we just want to get a quick stagger in here, and then we should be in a nice position to finish off this Viking. Obviously, having an enemy that's launchable is really helpful in this sense, because we can immobilize him for so long. It's really, really good. So yeah, this is going to be done just... Come on, Lightning, can you do it? Ah, Hope gets in. Lovely. So we did that like a minute faster than it actually wanted us to, and we still only got 3 stars. At least that's what I thought it said, but maybe I was wrong. Okay, so as you can see, more battles. This chapter is a bit of a slog. It is probably my least favourite chapter in the game because it is so much of a slog. You just end up, sort of just charging through the bulk of these missions, just sort of trying to keep on top of everything, and it's certainly not the best chapter. It is a long chapter, and there is a lot of battles to be done. Wow, that Baravich did so much. There we go. So we get Stagger. You're going to cast Fog on me. There we go. Lovely, lovely. So that's those. We've got some Huntresses. We can see a Viking in the background. Stagger is great against Huntresses because obviously, Preemptive is great against Huntresses because it, if you can obviously, well, I mean, aside from the fact that you can obviously take them out very, very fast. Let's go down this one. Ow, that is way too much. Just because I know that the stagger of the other one was going to end very fast, so we don't need to worry about it so much. Lovely. It's down to half health. She is, I should say, obviously, being a human enemy. There we go. She is still a risk with lightning, just... Although, Fang has Dispel now. That's useful. So see, I forgot to, yeah, Dispel is actually a Saboteur move. So a Saboteur move that essentially just removes the most an opponent's status. I think I already said that, but I didn't specify it was specifically a Sab move. So that's actually useful for Fang against these enemies because it means that she's got another attack which she can use to actually try and get Stagger. This is a rather easy enemy formation for some reason. That provoke completely failed. Okay, so hopefully, as she once more, Fang that is, tries to put slow on the wrong enemy, from our perspective. We'll get our launch in. So Fang gets her launch in. We should be able to take this guy out relatively fast. I was hoping we'd get to the change of teams, but that's evidently not going to be the case. We'll just complete these last two battles, and I think there probably will be a cutscene, and then we'll stop for this episode. So, just a group of infiltrators. So the trick, obviously, these guys, you just need to stagger them fast, and also if you can do enough damage to them, that means that they start wanting to cast Cura lots or Asuna, stuff like that. Then that does mean that obviously, any attacks that they're not spending on you are obviously times when they're not actually attacking you, and that's obviously rather handy. So, wow, nice big hit there. Hope is struggling, but we should hopefully be okay. Beautiful. So there was that. Now we've got a couple of huntresses and a Viking. That's not a fun pair. We're going to start in Smart Bomb actually this time because I reckon if we're lucky, we should hopefully be able to stagger one of these huntresses really quickly. Because they're going to go through the whole, bravery, protect, shell, haste, and then hopefully Fang's got enough time to actually start laying down these dispels, so we can get a quick stagger. She is casting Dispel, that is good. So we should get stagger here, and then we'll heal, and then I think... Ow, ow, ow. Thank you. Okay, that worked out pretty nicely, so let's try this once more. Nice. So now, if we can continue with this. So let's Smart Bomb, get slow on this guy, and then get to stagger as fast as possible. Okay, that's going to be another round of Smart Bomb then. Come on, land it, there we go. 2, 3. I think we definitely need a better... We need a healing paradigm that we can also attack with. I need to decide whether we want to go full, which would be diversity, or whether we want to go more defensive, which would be solidarity. But it's one of the two that we wanted to choose, really. Yeah, we might as well stay, I think. Okay, so we should get launch and then smite. Boom, okay, good. So normally a slow should be running out pretty much about now, hopefully. Come on. Get rid of your slow. So we get that provoke on from lightning, which is actually from Fang, which is really helpful because obviously provoke does slow down the stagger handily. Land, good, good, good. Okay, good. that stagger ended that fast? Damn. This is bad. Jeez, that got close. Okay. Cure. Fang might die here. Nope, she got in many guard just in time. Well done. Needed that slow. Come on, take him out. There we go, lovely. Ooh, that was a little riskier than usual, but there we go. We took them out in the end. We're going to get another item, and then we're going to get another cutscene. And like I said, I will actually have to mix around my... Ooh, Pandoran Spear. What does that do? Improved debilitation. So that's just improved sab. You definitely want to get that. Okay, so cutscene, and I think that'll be it for this episode.
Attention all crew, code green, repeat, code green. Security forces stand by. Hostile forces on board, code green. Get up, you're being moved. On your feet, scum. You too.
Alright, time to split. Not run. There's a difference.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
Do I deserve to escape?
What? You'd rather die?
What?
Because that's gotta scare you. Scares me. Scares me so much. I think I might die of fright. So, I'll push myself to live even harder. I can just imagine Dodge laughing at me talking this nonsense. Right now, I'd do anything to see that smile. Stay positive, right?
So our favourite duo are back with Saz and Vanille here, ready to take on the next little section here in Chapter 9. And indeed, the next section, essentially, we end up sort of flip-flopping between the two sets of teams, these two and the other three. But that is going to occur in the next episode. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. We're still doing pretty well, actually. Just in terms of the general Let's Challenge, I know I don't mention it a lot, but that's sort of because deaths are few and far between, I guess. And it sort of really means when they do happen is all the more problematic. But there we go. No, we have, I think, 6 lives at the moment, which is going pretty well. I'm hoping we're soon going to be getting some trophies for things other than just completing chapters, but we shall see. But yeah, like I said, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Hope you will join me on the next.